class Salutatorian Address. Let's welcome Gahi.
Good evening to our honored faculty, beloved families, dear friends, and distinguished guests. On behalf of the senior class, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight as we celebrate the end of our high school journey. For those who may not know me, my name is Gahi Bey, and it is my honor to speak tonight as a salutatorian of the class of 2025. First and foremost, I would like to thank those who helped me get to this very moment. To my family who came all the way from Guatemala to be here today, thank you for your love and support. Mom and Dad, thank you for being my biggest supporters, showing me strength through faith, and loving me without expecting anything in return. Through it all, your love and guidance have shaped me into the confident woman I am today. To my siblings, Sam, Rahi, and Yecha, thank you for being my greatest encouragers, my everyday joy, and the ones I could always count on. From growing up side by side to sharing every little adventure, we've always had each other, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. To my teachers, thank you for not only putting up with us and constantly reminding us to speak in English, but also for your patience, prayers, and grace. Most of all, thank you for reminding us that our worth isn't measured by numbers or grades, but by who we are in Christ. To my friends, thank you for the laughter, the late night talks, the creatively ridiculous nicknames, and for somehow making even the most boring days feel like a memory worth keeping. We've come a long way together, and I'm grateful for each of you. As I look back at the many people who've been part of this journey, I can't help but go back to where it all began. Before coming to GBCS Broadfording my sophomore year, I spent most of my life in Guatemala as a missionary kid, and life there was anything but ordinary. From translating CPR instructions live on Guatemalan TV while mispronouncing CPR for an entire hour, to getting my driver's license in just 3 days with no exam required, and then immediately bumping into someone's car because I thought the gear was in reverse when it was actually in drive. So yes, a few $1,000s in repairs before college, all thanks to my pride in thinking 3 days of driving made me a pro. Great start, right? But the real journey began when my parents mentioned Global Vision Christian School Broadfording, an inspiring name that sparked dreams of global friendships. Soon after, I moved into the dorms, settled into my new space, and met my first group of classmates. Welcoming faces, familiar language, but still a new world to navigate. Being here meant learning to live between cultures, even Korean, which though part of who I am, didn't always feel like home. At school, I met students from all kinds of backgrounds, locals, international students, even friends from Central America I could practice Spanish with. And that's when I realized our school was really global, just like its name. A place God has been using to raise up leaders with purpose, faith, and a vision shaped by many perspectives. Along the way, my English got a little rusty, but my Korean and Spanish improved, and that felt like a fair trade for everything I was learning. Because in the end, the hard parts of adjusting taught me this. We came from different places, but we grew together, through lessons, support, and the small moments that made a big difference. And if this journey taught me anything, it's that the smallest moments shape who we become and where we're headed. As the quote says, it isn't the mountains ahead to climb that wear you out, it's the pebble in your shoe. We've all had those moments where something small felt big, but the pebble doesn't have to stop us, as long as we keep walking. So let's remember, it's often the small steps that prepare us for the biggest climbs. With that in mind, I turn to you, my fellow seniors. We've all had our own pebbles, our own paths, our own small but meaningful steps. And now we stand at the edge of a brand new beginning. But wherever we go, let's never forget what got us here. Our faith, our friendships, and the perseverance to keep going. And when the road ahead feels uncertain, Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope." So class of 2025, let's move forward, one bold step at a time. And when life puts a pebble in your shoe, don't stop. Wiggle it through with faith, with joy, and just enough courage to shake the pebble free. Congratulations, we made it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gahi. Well, we are going to give you a chance to stretch. We are going to be led by Mr. Stephen Kim in our senior class hymn. We're going to sing a couple verses together of Holy, Holy, Holy. So let's stand together as we sing.